In a significant move, the U.S. Navy's USS Nimitz carrier strike group conducted maritime drills with Indian warships. The U.S. carrier strike group reached the Indian Ocean through the Malacca Straits on Saturday. This is being seen as a message to China by strategic experts. The timing of the naval exercise is important as it's set in motion after the recent skirmish between India and China. The drills also come amidst mounting enmity in the South China Sea, where the U.S. Navy conducted a major exercise involving USS Nimitz and USS Ronald Reagan. This maneuver has a very important tactical motive. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how Indo-U.S. maritime drill is aimed at choking China. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. On the 15th of June, Indian and Chinese soldiers clashed in eastern Ladakh's Galwan Valley. The valley refers to the land between steep mountains and the Galwan River. It's strategically located between Ladakh in the west and Aksai Chin in the east. Both India and China have suffered significant casualties. The Indian Army stated that 20 Army personnel, including commanding officer Colonel Santosh Babu, lost their lives. The bodies of Indian soldiers were sent to their hometown and they were laid to rest with full state honor. On the other hand, China didn't disclose its numbers. Indian radio intercepts indicate that China lost 43 of its men. U.S. officials, quoting intelligence sources, said that the Chinese army suffered 35 casualties and stated that China didn't disclose its number as it's come as a major embarrassment for the communist regime. This is actually the biggest ever military confrontation between the two armies in over 5 decades and has increased tension in the region several folds. In the wake of this situation and ensuing tensions in the South China Sea, U.S. has indicated that it will rebalance its forces to counter China in the Asia-Pacific. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo recently stated, "We're going to make sure we're postured appropriately to counter the PLA, People's Liberation Army. We think that is the challenge of our time, and we're going to make sure we have resources in place to do that." Straits of Malacca is a narrow 890-kilometer or 550-mile stretch of water between the Malay Peninsula and the Indonesian island of Sumatra. The strait is the main shipping channel between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, linking major Asian economies such as India, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, China, Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea. More than 100,000 vessels pass through the strait each year, making it the busiest strait in the world. The strait is responsible for carrying about 25% of the world's traded goods, including oil, Chinese manufactured products, coal, palm oil, and Indonesian coffee. About a quarter of all oil by sea passes through the strait, mainly from Persian Gulf suppliers to Asian markets. It's also one of the world's most congested shipping choke points because it narrows to only 2.8 kilometers or 1.5 nautical miles wide at the Phillips Channel. A blockade of this strait will have severe repercussions on the Chinese economy. Nimitz-class supercarriers are currently the backbone of the U.S. carrier fleet and will remain so till the Ford-class carrier slowly replace them. U.S. has 10 of this in active service. The class was designed to be an improvement on previous U.S. aircraft carriers, in particular the Enterprise and the Forrestal class. Nimitz-class vessels are some of the largest vessels constructed in the world. Each of the warships has a displacement of 100,000 tons and an overall length of 332.8 meters or 1,092 feet. To give viewers a perspective, it's about 3 football fields long. USS Nimitz class is powered by 2 A4W nuclear reactors kept in separate compartments. These power 4 propeller shafts that weigh around 30 tons each and can propel the ship at speeds over 30 knots or 56 kilometers per hour. It can operate 20 years with 1 refueling. Nimitz-class supercarriers practically have unlimited range and endurance. Apart from defensive weapons like RIM-7 Sea Sparrow missiles, Phalanx, and RIM-116 rolling airframe missile, it can carry a flight group of over 80 aircraft, including FA-18 Super Hornets for air-to-air and air-to-land strikes, E-2D Hawkeye surveillance planes for situational awareness, and EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft for SEAD role. USS Nimitz doesn't operate alone but is deployed with the Carrier Strike Group. The Nimitz Carrier Strike Group includes multiple Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruisers, as well as Arleigh Burke-class guided destroyer. These warships have a diverse array of weapons for anti-aircraft warfare (AAW), anti-submarine warfare (ASW), anti-surface warfare (ASUW), as well as have the ability to intercept ballistic missiles through Aegis Ballistic Missile Defense System. The armament includes standard SM-2 MR Block 3B for air defense and anti-ship role, Tomahawk cruise missile for land attack, RUM-139A VL ASROC anti-submarine missile for anti-submarine role, to name a few. The strike group also has Virginia-class attack submarine. The Virginia-class submarines can defeat enemy submarines, clear sea mines, as well as score hits on land installations. It's unclear as of now which Indian warships participated in the exercise. India also has a potent array of surface combatants like INS Vikramaditya carrier and Kolkata-class destroyers. INS Vikramaditya can carry 26 Mikoyan MiG-29K multi-role fighters that can be used for air-to-air combat and also initiate air-to-land attacks. The Kolkata class, which comprises 3 ships and is the largest destroyer to be operated by the Indian Navy, is a lethal platform. Kolkata's main armament is a battery of 16 vertically launched BrahMos supersonic long-range anti-ship missiles. It has a supersonic speed of Mach 3 or 1 kilometer per second, providing very little time to intercept. BrahMos uses a 300 kilogram or 660 pound semi-armor piercing warhead and also has very high kinetic energy, since kinetic energy is directly proportional to the square velocity. The accuracy of around 1 square meter makes it apt for precision strike on high-value targets. It has a range of 185 miles or 300 kilometers, and this is being extended to 370 miles or 600 kilometers. The two forces are working on CENTRIX, Combined Enterprise Regional Information Exchange System, which is the common communication system fitted on all U.S. naval ships to ensure secure and reliable communications and can't be intercepted by any other forces. The exercise will go a long way in enabling the two forces to work seamlessly in the future. A joint task group comprising the U.S. and Indian naval assets will be a formidable force and could quickly initiate a blockade of Straits of Malacca. This is not all. Further support could be provided by Japan and Australia. The Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, QSD, also known as the Quad, is an informal strategic forum between the United States, Japan, Australia, and India that's maintained by semi-regular summits, information exchanges, and military drills between member countries. The dialogue is paralleled by joint military exercises of an unprecedented scale, titled Exercise Malabar. It's expected that Quad will be more active in the coming days, keeping in view the increasingly aggressive Chinese posturing. It can be well understood that a joint Indo-U.S. drill is a message to China.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.